Yo, what's up, guys? Lorenzo here. So happy Friday! Finally, it's the weekend. Yes. Topic for today. Just a quick one. Cause I gotta bounce in a bit. Anyways, let's talk about as I was this morning as I was scrolling in X. Um, for those that don't know, that's Twitter now. All right, it's called X. Anyways, I was scrolling in X, despite the news and all that, the war, the political news here. Um, it's a birthday of one of my favorite directors. Okay, guys, this is for film guys. All right, film buffs, cinephiles. Um, it's the birthday of one of my favorite directors, and he's Italian, and he goes by the name of Pier Paolo Pasolini. All right. For those that don't know him, he's quite a controversial figure because of the films he made. They're kind of provoking films because they feature a lot of extreme violence, graphic nudity, and a lot of provoking themes. All right, themes that involve a lot of violence and sexuality. So, uh, kind of a controversial figure indeed. Anyways, it's his birthday yesterday. All right. But he's dead now because he died years ago, back in the 70s. But we'll get into that. Pier Paolo Pasolini is one of my favorite Italian filmmakers because, first of all, for me, in my opinion and my observation, he introduced raw filmmaking, meaning he was able to introduce to an American audience and also for others in the world guerrilla style filmmaking, meaning capturing raw emotions, just raw content, dirty, gritty, and just in an artistic way. He made ugly things look beautiful on camera, meaning that you get to appreciate the ugliness and see the art in it and also see the beauty in it. Also, in violence, he captures graphic violence in a way that it makes it beautiful for the eyes. You know what I mean? It's not like you're trying to avoid it somehow. Uh, unlike you're seeing a snuff film or an execution video from the Middle East or from Mexico or something like that. No, he films it in a way that um, you can still see it, but it's real, it's raw. It's not like the ones that they make in Hollywood where it's grotesque. It's like it's like Kill Bill and all that, and it's fake. But the way Pasolini films violence is it's so real. But at the same time, you can still stick your eyes in the screen. So we'll get there, and also realism and truth in terms of the nudity and how people are, how authentic they are. Pasolini films with real people. Okay, he doesn't. His films are mostly acted out by locals, by natives. Not entirely all actors. Some were actors, but mostly real people from real communities, villages. He gets them. Even a paralyzed man, or someone with no legs or no arms, or someone with a disease, or someone that's impaired. He gets them in his films, and they portray interesting characters. And he gets the misfits. That's really interesting, and that's why I love Pasolini, because he's so real. The images that he puts on his films are so realistic. It's so raw, and you will know what I'm talking about if you watch his films and you do research on YouTube. Just Google the guy, research him on YouTube if you're for cinephiles out there. So yeah, he films in real locations. All right, he likes it dirty. He doesn't like it clean, but at the same time, he likes it beautiful. So most of his films are historic, mostly like I don't know, Greek tragedies. I'm gonna give you his films that I enjoyed that you should also check out. So he did Medea, Greek tragedy. It's a good film, historic Greek. Then he did Oedipus Rex, great story, great film also, very real, raw, and kind of reminds me of the old films of Inarritu when he made Babel or 21 Grams or Amores Perros. Those films are kind of like the films of Pasolini. And when I saw, Inarritu's films like Beautiful, all the films that were handheld by Inarritu. He doesn't do handheld now. He kind of stuck with his Birdman and Revenant style now. So let's go way back when the last film of Inarritu, when he shot, that was like guerrilla filmmaking, like Beautiful and 21 Grams. Those were films that and that feature the tragedies of life, just pure honesty. That's why I love also Iñárritu, but he's more in the modern era. But yeah, so Pasolini was like Iñárritu at that time, and Pasolini was a homosexual. All right, he was like Tom Ford, but he was a decent guy. Well, he stood well. He stood his ground. He believed in his art. People loved his art, even though it was dark. But he was the man. He was a real maestro. He was like a fashion designer in the film world. But he was so unique, and he would always use the same actors in every film that he would make. He'd always get the same dudes, always, So, but you'll see it if you watch all of his films. So one of his best films that I recommend you guys is Medea, Oedipus Rex, Arabian Nights, The Canterbury Tales, and wow, he did a really graphic and disturbing one. It's called Salo, or the 120 Days of Sodom. All right, so this is the film Salo. That was the film that got him dead, Surprise, he was murdered. He was brutally murdered in Italy, all right, back in the 70s, after he made this really controversial film called Salo. And Salo is a film that features tortures, humiliation, abuses, my gosh, the dark side of humanity. What it shows what humans are capable of doing and how sick they are. I mean, think of the Epstein list. You see it on Salo. Imagine you watch Salo and you realize they do that on Epstein Island. Something like that. It's sick, and it takes place in the 40s during Mussolini's era. It was a fascist era. So, but it's based on a book. During the medieval times, but Pasolini was smart enough and creative enough to set it during Pasolini's time. So it features the brutality that these rich tycoons and rich diplomatic dudes do to humans. Treating them like dogs, or torturing them for fun, for pleasure, for their sexual desires. It's sick, but it also opens up in an artistic way. It's kind of like a Caravaggio painting. It's beautiful yet it's ugly yet beautiful. So so that film features a lot of nasty stuff, and critics called it, I think, one of the most disgusting films ever made. But also in the artistic side, it's one of the best films also. Creatively, artistically. I mean, you gotta be a sick guy to love it for how it is. But if you're talking about the arts, it's actually a pretty good film. It's well made also. And I actually thought that they're really killing the people there. I actually thought it was real, because they're making all these actors do all these nasty stunts. And I can't believe they did those. So anyways, just Google that, Salo, 120 Days of Sodom. Really disturbing film. I wouldn't let your kids below 15 years old to watch it. So probably when you're 18 and above, you can watch it. So parents out there, don't let your kids watch it. It's dangerous. Anyways, so yeah, so that movie got him killed because there are rumors that the guy was so offended by the film, that he got pissed and stalked Pasolini in the road one evening, then beat the hell out of him with some wood and ran over him with his own car. That's sad. That's a tragic way to go. And that was before Salo was released to the public. He was killed before the release. So how tragic is that? It's kind of like Kubrick. He was killed before the release of Eyes Wide Shut. Because of the Epstein stuff. So it's tragic, tragic. But above all, he's a great artist. And happy birthday to the guy. I like him. He's a true artist. Italian guy. So Viva Italia. He's a great artist. He's a maestro. So there you have it, guys. So Paolo Pasolini researches films. He's one of the best directors that ever existed in the arts and in the film world. So there you have it, guys. That's it. 11 minutes. Right. Gotta bounce, guys. So enjoy your weekend. Happy weekend. Exercise, eat well, pray to the Almighty. Hope this war does de-escalate. So I hate wars, but I love the warriors. Hegseth did a good speech. So anyways, happy Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers, guys. Gotta bounce. Ciao.